Hello, good to meet everyone. So I'm going to talk about how we steal the big boys' lunch money and what we're actually doing. So let me start by just introducing KoRo. So we are a 170 million euro better for you love brand, and that really is unique in the sense of that this kind of scale on a healthy snacking space is actually quite unheard of, especially when it comes to online. For us, this really comes down to three key brand promises. Number one, natural ingredients. Number two, less sugar or natural sugar. And number three, the avoidance of critical materials and ingredients like palm oil. And as you can see, this already has helped us quite a bit to gain some significant traction in the last few years. So we have been growing like 30x from 2019 to today, and also have really seen a real acceleration of our growth in the last like 6 to 12 months. And today I want to really talk about a little bit how we do this, how we actually manage to kind of still grow substantially in the currently like really difficult consumer market, as you might know, and despite the trends towards like less organic products and less healthy products just because of inflation and cost reasons. So first of all, start by building an engaged community. So we have around like 2 million direct customer relationships, which is basically core to what we do. So we started online first, we built an engaged community, we have 600,000 followers on different social media channels, and all of that gives us extreme exposure to our community and engagement opportunities. First or second, you actually need to build understanding of your customer. And I think that's quite unique because for many e-com brands, that might sound like very simple. If you talk to Zalando, they also know their customers really well. But I can promise you that to a Nestlé, this really sounds like black magic to a certain degree. And we really have more than 50 data attributes per customer. We understand them really well. And that also gives us the ability to innovate and find the right products to work on. And that's where I'm talking about. Number three, innovate and really rapidly also validate new products. So we have a less than a 6-month innovation cycle, which is also driven a lot by community engagement. So we can ask our customers about basically products they would be interested in. We can feedback very quickly. We can also use data to predict category trends. And this allows us to launch more than 20 new products every single year. And we are talking about innovation cycles that are usually taking up to 3 or 4 years for a new product to launch. And the beauty of all of this is that we can launch D2C first. And we have cracked, as one of the few brands in the healthy snacking space, really the ability to kind of run like a full D2C profitable business. We kind of combine our snacking products, which are unique and really innovative, with a long tail of like bulk packages, which is basically dried nuts and so on, dried fruits and nuts and other products that you can find with us and that kind of help us to kind of increase the average order value to over 70 euros and also really induce and restocking behavior. We simply believe that snacking, just individual snacks, will not work online, and you will not make a huge business out of like a product or a single category business. The second part, and that's the most interesting one today, is that also that gives us unrivaled capabilities to launch retail winners, because we first of all can test and validate products online first, but then also pick the ones that we know will perform well in retail. And that gives us really not just the data on sales, but it gives us also like cross-selling potential, for example. So we can also predict shelf composition. We can also understand in which supermarket, which kind of demography or which kind of customer will want to buy which product. And that gives us unrivaled capability, more than 200% year-on-year growth, and also velocity per product, which is unrivaled. We have, for example, just launched a year ago our protein bars, which was never on the market before. And we have now around like 20 million in retail sales from that individual category 1 year after launch, which is something that we have not seen a lot of other brands do. The beauty about all of this is actually that it kind of works as a flywheel, because when you launch a new product online, you kind of validate more information, you gather more data, you then pick the retail winners, and the retail distribution in turn gives you more brand awareness and more customers the ability to engage with your actual brand and actually learn about your brand. So in the end, it's kind of a really well-working flywheel, and also one of the reasons why we see our sales and our development picking up again. And translating this in actual numbers, we see that we are now a more than 100 million D2C business. So in total, it's a bit more than that, but that's just online. We also see that we are now accelerating growth again to more than 50% year-on-year growth. And also, we are also profitable now on a Q1 basis of like 3% EBITDA. So overall, very happy with where we are today. But obviously, there's also some things still heading our way that we are very excited about and that I wanted to quickly share also today. Number one, and that's really the key thing for us, conquering the mass market. We are still very much German-focused brand, also with some international presence. But in Germany, we are now official snacking partner of the European national team, the German national team for the soccer European Cup. We are also co-branding with one of the best-known soccer players in Germany. For example, that product is also one of our best sellers nowadays. And we are also doing the same thing, for example, with Teddy Riner, who's like the #1 Olympics athlete in France. So really trying to kind of become this ubiquitous household brand name, so to say, and really conquer the mass market understanding. And there are some other collaborations that are to be announced very soon that I can't talk about today, but maybe some people can guess what we are working on. And all of that translates to us really conquering the international market, not just in Germany, but also really expanding rapidly outside the German ecosystem. So also now having a substantial revenues in France already. Italy is one of the markets where we already have omnichannel presence built up, and also the Nordics are next on our roadmap. Key learnings for today I think we can take away from here is, first of all, we have built a 170 million euro healthy snacking omnichannel player that is kind of the scale that is quite unheard of in that space. We have built a brand that is actually loved by customers with more than 1.8 million customer relationships, and we are growing more than 50% year on year. Thank you for snacking for me.